Okay, so now we've looked at different types of maps and what they tell us, what the land use is, all that sort of thing. What we're going to do now is look at how we actually find things on a map. So with Google Maps, it's kind of easy because it's just whatever is on your screen it shows you everything. But sometimes when we're not using Google Maps, when we're using a hard copy map or different types of maps, or when we want to know things around the world, like longitude and latitude, then we need to have grid referencing. Longitude and latitude is the next video, so don't worry about that. Okay, so basically grids are things that we put over the top of a map that then tell us where things are. Now, you may have already done this sort of thing. So here we've got letters across the top and then numbers down the side. So we could call these columns. So these are columns and what we call rows going across. And here there's a little square around, let's go with the fire station. So the fire station is in H4. So we can say that H4 means that we can look that up. So if we said C7, we'd go to C and we go down until we find 7 and we can see that it's the swimming pool. So that's kind of how it works. It's just a grid reference. You just map it up. Haha, pun intended. However, in the old days before Google, we actually had road maps. And the grid wasn't actually on an overlay. So overlay means it's sitting actually on the map itself. So we actually had to use kind of our imagination. So it would tell us that the historical museum was at a certain reference point, and then we would have to go, okay, well F, if I go down to F and it's kind of 5, so I'm kind of using my imagination that there's a line between there and there. And literally that's what we had to do. So if it was D7, I don't know what's at D7, so let's have a look. D, and again I go down the side to 7, and that would kind of be Mary Street. Or it could also be the showground, right? Because the grids aren't clear. So it's a matter of being a little bit of wiggle room, really, if you like, because the grid isn't as an overlay. So we had to use our imagination. This is actually a picture from what we called a Gregory's, and often people would all have a Gregory's sitting in their car, or a Melway if you're in Victoria. And it was a road map. All the maps in Google were actually in hard copy. It was kind of a good time. And again, you can see here that the main road is a different colour, and the showground is, the green bits are parks, and the blue is the water. All right, so it's the same sort of concepts. But sometimes it's not alphanumeric. So alphanumeric means it was, D7. So an alpha is the alphabet, numeric is a number, so alphanumeric. Sometimes the grids themselves are actually just numeric. And if that's the case, then you always read the x-axis and then the y. So this is the x-axis and the y. On the previous one, the x-axis was the alpha and the numeric was the y. I'm assuming you've done the XY plane in maths. If you've not done the XY plane in maths, now's the time to write down this as a question in your notes that I need to go through the XY axis in class. I don't know whether you've done it or not. Anyway, so what that means is that here I've got a coordinate 6902. So if I go to 69 and then come up to 02, oh, I've said the dairy farm is there. Well, that's not quite right, is it? Well, hang on, it is, because the dairy farm is sitting between 2 and 3 and between 69 and 70. So really it's at 69.5 and 2.5. Now that becomes really, really important for the next video, which is on longitude and latitude, because in longitude and latitude it's divided very, very finely, which is why the GPS, the geographical positioning system in your phone, can actually get you to somebody's house. Because 69.2 could be that point there, but it's not, it's this bit over here. But that's how a numeric works. A numeric, if you see a 6902 or 6800 or whatever, it's across the bottom first or across the top first and then down the sides. Not complicated. We're going to do an activity in class on this.